aside, and I wanted to give this lecture, so I was like, I should give this right now.
Yes,
So then
that very good.
every week, then I could give just one lecture, and that would be very good. So I was like, yeah.
No, but this is going to work. This is important. And how do you feel there? All right.
Yeah. It's all right.
Have you been to McDonald's too often?
No, not right now. Like I visited a week before, but this week I haven't been visiting anywhere.
You have not been around, my friend.
Yes,
McDonald's is the most important place all over the world.
that's true. That's true.
Well, honestly, many people go to McDonald's, to be honest. Many.
Yeah, like also the pizzas here is not that good. Like the Domino's and Pizza Hut are not that good, but this Chicago pizza that is very good, and some local brands of America only, they are very good. So we tried eating it those like from the Chicago pizza, and it was very good.
Well, that is something that you have to do to keep on changing and tasting what's ready
Yeah.
for you. That's very nice. You tell me when I have already shared the screen. If
Yeah.
you want to start.
Sure. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, very well. This is the basic of computing programming using C language. And this is Shivam Bhardwaj. Do I get the pronunciation and intonation of your surname properly or not?
Bhardwaj.
It's not easy. Eh? You have to practice more, my friend. Let me introduce you to the people who are going to see you and to listen to your talk. Well, Shivam is an Indian fellow, and he lives in New Delhi, and nowadays he's working for a master's degree in the United States of America. This is what he's doing. He's published. He's a co-author of 2 patents, as far as I know, and therefore he has a lot to say, mainly to the young people who want to start doing computing and informatics. And perhaps in the future, soft computing, which means machine learning, artificial intelligence, and mining data, and that kind of things, which are getting more and more important everywhere. Now, the thing is, Chivani, that the students at the university where I work for, many of them study informatics. We are talking about very young students, and they are very keen to learn more and to have more experience from other people, not just at the university. And that's very important, you see, because now with this lecture, they are going to meet you and so on. The lecture is being recorded at the moment, and it will be in YouTube. I'm going to send you the link.
Sure.
And that, and so on. Well, I have to acknowledge you for your kindness.
No. It's my pleasure, sir, to be with you and to give this lecture right now.
Yeah, but formality. I had to say that because many people don't know you. I know you. You are a very close friend of mine. But for the other, I hope that it will be a close friend of yours as well.
Sure.
The idea you see to exchange experience and ideas and so on. This is our way, my dear friend, to do more and more research with the highest quality possible quality. This is what we're looking for. Right, now I'm going to leave Shivam with his talk.
Thank you so much, sir.
You can start when you're ready, my friend.
Yeah. So the topic of today's lecture is basics of computer programming using C language. So I prepared this lecture, and it's just the beginning, and we will learn more about in the next lectures. So let's start. So in the introduction, we'll talk about what is programming. So programming is like a medium to communicate with others. Like in regularly, we communicate through languages, through English, through Spanish, through Hindi. We talk in languages. So programming is a medium to deliver instructions to the computer so that our computer knows what he is doing. And and C is a programming language. So what is C? It is a programming language, and it is the oldest, finest programming language, which was developed by Dennis Ritchie in 1972. And it is highly used everywhere, and it is still in use, and it is one of the best languages that you could learn when you are a beginner in programming. So what are its uses? C is a language that is used to program a wide variety of systems. Some of them are major parts of Windows, Linux, and other operating systems are written in C. And C is used to write drivers program as vehicles, printers, tablet, etc. C programming is also used to program embedded system where programmers need to run faster in limited memory. C is used to develop games in an area where latency is very important. A computer needs to react very quickly into the input, so C is also used there. So it has a lots of variety of system where we can use C. So it is a very good language to learn. Now coming to the variable, constants, and keywords that are used in the programming. So what is a variable? A variable is a container that stores any value. So you need anything to store a value or anything that is a variable. Like in the kitchen, we have containers to store the sugar, rice, and other accessories. Similarly, variables stores value of a constant. Like a is a variable that is storing value 3. So a is assigned 3, and b is another variable that is storing 4.7 value. So c is storing character a, and these are different types of variable that can be used. Rules for naming variable in C are like the first character must be an alphabet or an underscore. So no commas or blank are allowed because then it will show an error. So you need to use character and go ahead with this. A special symbol other than underscore is allowed. And a variable name is case sensitive. So if you are like going lowercase or uppercase, it will really matter in the programming. And now coming to the constants, constant is an entity that doesn't change its value. So 3 is a constant, 4 is a wonder because it's a constant, cannot change its value. So there would be string values. There are many types of constants. Like types of constant are there are three primary constant: integer constant, as I said before, 3, 4, 5, 6, or any integer. Real constant, that could be decimal value as well. Imaginary numbers or any language or any number that is in decimal or decimal form. Then comes character constant, which is the alphabet, the symbols that we use in our normal language. So these are the constants. Now coming to the keywords. Keywords are something that is reserved for to be available only in C. Like some keywords are reserved so that we cannot use, and it has a predefined meaning, and it is already known to the compiler. Like in the int stands for integer, so it implies integer value. If you are giving int input, it implies that you are giving any input of integers. If we are giving any case or break or int, these are all examples that C compiler knows, and if you will type it, it knows what to do. We don't have to define it; it's predefined. Now coming to our first C program. So the C program starts with an header file that is hashtag include studio.h, then a main file which contains all the part there where we code, and then this printf is where we will be printing out our outputs, and then a return 0 that will just to end the program. So I will just explain what we are doing. So all C program have a basic structure. It starts with the main function and executes instruction present inside it. Each instruction terminated with a semicolon. So each instruction would be terminated with a semicolon, like here it is present. So if we are programming, each instruction needs to be terminated with a semicolon. So every program's execution starts from the main function. All the statements are terminated with a semicolon, and instructions are very case sensitive. So we have to be very careful. Like if we are throwing in an uppercase printf, it won't take because it's lowercase, and it is predefined. So it is also a keyword. These are The instructions are executed in the same manner they are written. So it's from up to down. So firstly, the printf will be outputted and then the return value. So now coming to the another part, this is the basic structure of our C program. Now coming to comments, like if we want to clarify or present something in a C program that is not like to tell anyone who is a programmer what we are doing. So we use comments that are not in the program, but we are telling any other. So a program comment can be a single line comment or a multi-line comment to add nodes to our program. So this is defined by double slash, and this is by a single slash followed by a star, and this is how you write a multi-line comment. This is how you write a single line comment. So these comments are not executed and are ignored. So this is for the information. So any programmer would know what we are doing in the program. Like here, these are the comments. These are all comments. So coming to how compilation and execution happens. So first we will be building a C file. Then the C compiler will be taking the file, which would be going into a GCC, and then a exe file would be uploaded. So the compiler is a computer program which converts any C program into a machine language that could be easily understood by the computer. A program is written in plain text, and this plain text is a combination of instructions in a particular sequence. A compiler performs sequence in basic checks and finally converts into an executable program. If any error occurs, it will show you the error and ask you to fix it so that the compiler doesn't have to change or doesn't know that what he is doing, or we don't expect any random output. Now there are some library functions that are predefined in C and they have a fixed meaning. So we'll talk about that. C has a lot of valuable library functions which is used to carry out a certain task. For instance, printf is a function used to print values on the screen. So if this function printf, it is used to print any value. So if we will be using this is, and percentage d is just like percentage d is predefined library function which is used to print integers. So like, and we here, this is a variable, we have to put the value, like I is an integer. So percentage d is for integers, percentage f is for float values, the decimal values, and percentage c is for character values, the alphabets or special symbols. So if we will be typing this is percentage f and a float number, so this will give us a decimal number. And if I want to write my name, I can just write hi, my name is, and percentage c command then I can write a variable in which I can store my name. So these are all the characters. So I will just show you the types of variable that I was telling you about. Integer variables. So int a is equals to 3 is an integer variable because a defines 3, and a real variable is where this won't work. So if we will write int a 7.7, because 7 is 7.7 will be converted into an integer value, so it will throw out 7. So we'll have to write float a because float will be giving us the 7.7 real number value. So integer defines the integer one, float defines real numbers, and char defines the character values. So if we have to make this syntax like here, we will have to be like int a and float b, and if we want to add one over, will be like char c. So this will take the char values as well. Now coming to receiving input from an user, we can also receive any input that we want to from an user. So in order to take a input from a user, we have to use scanf uh, library function. This will just take the input and we can just type anything that a user would want to. So and is very important in C programming. In other languages, it is not. It is text and case sensitive, so that's why it is important because it is the syntax of C. In C++, it won't be here. It would be C out, and in any other Java and Python, it would be other language. So this is for C only. Now coming to instructions and operators, a C is a set of instructions just like a recipe, which contains instructions to prepare a particular dish. And there are multiple types of instruction like declaration instruction, arithmetic instruction, control instruction. So I will just tell you about the type of declaration. So as I told you that we have to use int a to declare any integer, and we'll have to use float a to declare any float or real value number. There could be other variations also, like if we want to initialize an integer value that has 10 has its constant value, so we will just take a variable I and define as a int I is equals to 10. So now I has 10 value. And if we will take j equals to I, now j also has 10 value. And now if we will take a is equals to 2, but j won't change because a is been changed but j is not changed, so j1 would be this. So it will be the output of this would come as 2 plus 10 minus I. So I would be like 2 plus, okay. So the output would be 2 only from this, because 10 plus, because A is 2 and J is I, and this would cancel. So 2 would be the output. Now, similarly for the float, we cannot do this because the definition of float A is defined afterwards, and A will be throwing error because we have to define what is A first, and then we can use it in any other definition. Similarly, we can define int A, B, C, D, and then initialize them by in a different line. So this is also another way to declare instructions. Now coming to arithmetic instructions, so we can also perform multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction in the commands. So like if you want to define an integer I, which is a summation of 3 into 2 plus 1, so I can just do by this. So these are the operators and these are the operands. So operators can be arithmetic operators or int or float. So like int b equals 2 and int c equals 3, then int z, we can just do an arithmetic operation here, and we can just do z is equals to b into c. So the z would be 3, or z would be coming out to be 6. And in z, this would not be working because the z needs to be in the left hand side, because it is a variable and we are assigning a value to it. So b and c have already been assigned, so we have to place it in the right side. If we will place it in the left side, this won't work because this b and c would be equal to z, so z doesn't have any value, so this would be illegal and not allowed. Similarly, there are other operations that could be done in the C programming. So no operator is assumed to be present, and this would be invalid. So we have to imply that A is a multiplication of both A and B. Like if we will be writing A and B in like we do in the normal text, so this won't work. An arithmetic operation between int and int would result in int and float would result in float, and float would result in also float. So like 5 by 2, if this is an int, this would throw in 2, this won't be throwing 2.5 because 2.5 is a float value, so we'll have to be very careful with that. Now coming to the operator precedence, so if we want to like do any mathematical equation or solve any mathematical equation, we'll have to be careful. Like C doesn't follow any BODMAS rule, so it does in operator priority. So the operators have the highest priorities and they have the absence of parentheses. So I will just show you this, like y multiplied by x and divided by z. So firstly, x and y will be multiplied and the sum would be divided by z. Similarly, if x is divided by y and multiplied by z, then x would be divided by y first and then z. So from left to right, the associativity is shown. And the control, now coming to the another type of instruction, that is control instruction. Sometimes we want to watch some comedy movies on YouTube if the day is Sunday. Sometimes we want to order some junk food if it is a friend's birthday, and we want to buy an umbrella if it's raining. to order a meal or your favorite menu, we need some instructions, and these instructions are control instructions. The decision depend on the conditions that are being met. So in C language, also executable instructions and construction are being met. This determines the flow of the program, like what will be the flow of the program and how it will be done. So it will just control all the programming and instructions of the program and executable. And these are the different types of statements and instruction that is it. So decision making instruction would be if else statements, if statement. Now I'm coming to the if else statement. So firstly, if the condition will be checked, and if the condition is true, then the program would come out and it will throw like true. And if it's not true, then it will go on to else, and if it will check the else condition as well. And it can go on to any number, like there's no limitation to it. Like in code example, I will taking integer value of 23 and it's assigned to a. If a is greater than, so we'll take a condition, if a is greater than 18, then print you can drive. So the a is clearly greater than 18, so the print would be you can drive. And else block is not necessary, so you can just write, or it's upon you, do you want to write it or not. So it's completely optional. Like if this would be false, if this would be a would be 16 and this would be false, the code would just come out of this loop and it won't execute anymore. It would just throw you a random value that is you can assign anywhere. Now coming to the another relation operators in C. So this is important as it tells you what to do. Like here, if you want to evaluate anything like Ram and Sham are going to. So this is very important as this would tell you the relation between the two. This implies equals to in normal language stands for one equals, but in C or any other programming, it's two equals. So we have to be very careful with that. This is for greater than or equal to, this is for greater than, this is for less than, this is for less than equal to, and this is for not equal to. So these are relation operators in C. Now, as I have said before, this is an important note that equals to is used for an assignment, whereas two equals to is used to for an equality check. Like this, this is for the equals to, and this is for an assignment of anything, of a constant or anything like this here. The condition can be any valid expression in C. A non-zero value is considered to be true. So coming to the logical operators and or not, there are three logical operators in C. These are read as and, or, and not. They are used to provide logic to our C programs. Like I will just take this example here. 1 and 0 is evaluated as false as it is a union of both, and this 0 and 0 would be false as well. 1 and 1 would be true. The or statement would be true for 1 and 1 or 0, 1 1 or 1, 0 or 0 would be 0, and so on. And this is the not statement. It will give the negation of it. If anything is true, it will give it the output as false, and if the output is false, it will give it as true. Like this 3 equals to 3, this is true, but the evaluated to false because this is the negation we are talking about. And this will give us true because this is the negation we are talking about. 3 is not greater than 30, so this would be false, and coming out it would become to true. Now coming to another clause, that is else if else. So this is like if a statement is not true, then it will go on to another statement else if, and then it will go on to another statement else if, and finally to an else. And like if today will rain, then I will go out. So this is if and else statement that we can have multiple values of it. So that is the important part here. Now this is all for today because I have concluded. Like to be continued in the next lecture, we will be studying out switch cases, functions, types of loops, and many more things. So thank you so much for this lecture and thank you.
That's very interesting actually. And can you hear me properly? Yes.
Hello?
You hear me?
Yes, 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 sir.
Yeah. Well, now it's it was really I was able to understand. So this is very good actually. Well, it would be nice to have a complete set of lecture from you in the near future.
Mhm.
Of course, when you have the time to do this, because this is work that
Yeah, yes.
need to be done.
I'll be preparing this more slides for this. Like this is the basic introduction. Then we will go to the another. Like we will be dealing with functions. Then we will be making structures. Then we'll be making pointers, array, and many data structures that are in C programmings and etc. Then
Yeah,
we'll be making programs also. And then after that, after programming, then we'll go shift to these algorithms from C to C++ and other types.
yeah, that's very interesting. Chipan, do you think you can send me the presentation to my email?
Sure.
Because you see, well, we are, what we have is an electronic magazine. So there is a section for lectures. And there, this is going to be, if you agree, of course, going to be published. In the lecture sections, there are several people interested in publishing their books, lecture notes, and so on. And this is very useful for everybody. You see, many people access the journal, and it does work in that way. On the other hand, it's free of charge, so people can feel free just to access and get and download whatever they want, or they find that it is essential for what they are doing. Well, there is a lot of opportunities. And what are you planning to do after this?
I will just study my. I have an assignment due on Tuesday, so I will just complete my assignment. And there is this like I will cook food and then I will just go on to sleep.
Yeah. Well, it is. How do you manage with the time difference? Is it too hard for you?
Sorry, sir.
Is it too hard for you?
No. Like in that sense, I will just do the assignment first, and then I will just cook my food. And it is not that hectic, but it takes time to solve problems and stuff. So.
Yeah, but for instance, in your case, the time difference between New Delhi and New York is 9.5 hours, which is a lot.
Yeah.
How do you manage with that time difference?
So I didn't have much jet lag because I used to sleep late in the night in Delhi only, like 2 to 3 a.m. was normal for me. So it wasn't a much change for here because if it's 3 a.m. in Delhi, so it would be 3 or 4 p.m. here. So it's a 9 hours delay. So that wasn't a much harder time because I could just easily manage because I used to sleep late and work at night only.
You work at night?
Yeah.
Well, there, my friend, you have to be careful, huh?
Sure,
because when you work overnight, I used to do that, but when you get older and older, you start feeling not well, and this is called anxiety. Because you see, my friend, what you need is the sun. This is for D vitamins and many other things, fresh air, and so on. And when you work overnight, it's just it's not this is artificial light that we are having at the moment. And but are you going to the gym?
Yeah.
So you are moving well there. That's very good. Well, do you have friends there?
Yes, I have like many now. For like I know a lot of people and many like when I walk around the campus, so many people talk to me and come to me like, hey.
And do they offer you lemonade, my friend?
Yes, yes, yes. At lunch, at whenever we go to a cafe or something, we order lemonade.
Yeah, that too. That's the way it works. My dear friend, well, it has been a real pleasure to talk to you and to see you. And you are
Thank you so
fine.
much, sir.
Please keep in touch and tell me when do you think that we can meet again.
Sure. Next Saturday or Sunday, like I will continue with this next lecture because this time I didn't have much time to prepare for a bigger lecture, and I was planning to go for programming, but next time I was thinking to go for programming.
But you just keep me informed. That's all.
Sure, sir. Also, I
If,
wanted to ask about this transfer thing. That is it a good decision to take a transfer to any other university or like?
well, you see, in America, this is free. This is normal.
Okay.
You move from one place to the other, and no one cares, actually.
Oh, okay.
It's even more than that. Nobody even noticed that because they are so get used to that. For instance, in America, you get a job, say, for instance, in Atlanta or Texas or wherever. And suddenly you move from those places to New York or from New York to Baltimore and so on. For them, it's quite normal. It is what they call mobility. It happened with the works, jobs, with students, and so on. Because you see, from their point of view, I know very well the American, they think that what you are looking for is more experience. No one is going to think something else because they get a lot of students from everywhere. And they are happy when the students move around. It's just the opposite.
Nice.
I don't know how the situation is in India, but in the States, it's really free, my friend. All you have to do is to take your suitcase and move. It's just like that one.
Sure. So I will just try to like fill my application, and I will just take like talk to someone about the universities, and then I will apply for this transfer.
Yeah, and where are you planning to? What do you have in
Uh,
mind?
I was thinking any university in California or like any university that has a lot more access to the resources that I was planning on, like the
Well, for
research.
instance, in California is quite good. Huh? Well, they have money. This is very important because depending upon the amount of money they have, you will find the right setup to do what you want to do.
Sure.
And unfortunately, my dear friend, money is in full command of everybody nowadays. And we can say, no, I just want enough money to live on. But no one knows, you see, because the cost of living is changing so quickly. And therefore, you are making your life almost every single day, actually, taking decisions and so on. And there are two articles which I found some times ago, and one is called the General Theory of System, which was written by a German fellow. And what he does there, you see, my friend, that was a long time ago, is he teach you how to think properly in life, in science, in poetry. I mean, the guy was really a real genius. I was lucky to find it. It was just a question of a coincidence. I was looking for something else. Well, like that, you never know when the time comes. So this is going to be okay, and just you can keep me informed, and whatever I can do from here, I will do it.
Sure.
And do take care, my friend.
Sure.
Stay safe and be a good boy, as usual. My regard to
also,
everybody.
like we are meeting in January, right?
Yes. Well,
He will
here,
be. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was
well,
thinking that we could also go together, but then I will have to get a visa for Chile first.
in Chile, there are no problem for you, the Indian people to get
Okay.
visa.
Okay,
And
okay, okay. Because yeah.
I have some friends.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes friends are more important than money.
Yes, yes.
So,
So like we'll be going to Delhi then for my brother's wedding.
yes, that's something I want to look at and to see
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and to enjoy
Also,
that because the party is going to be a long one.
yeah, 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 exactly.
And it will be a pleasure to meet Rahat. I never spoken to him yet,
Definitely, definitely.
but that day he's going to be very happy.
Exactly, sir, exactly.
How is your mom and your dad? Are they doing well?
Like she is in the hospital right now, I think, because she has this surgery, the gallbladder one. I think she might have told you about this.
Yeah. What? Say so again.
She has a surgery in gallbladder. So her gallbladder has stones, so it needs to be removed. So
Yeah.
I think her surgery was today or yesterday. I talked to her in the morning, so she was like, "Don't worry, I'm all right." So she was in the hospital today, or like she'll be in the hospital.
But is she okay?
Yeah, yeah, she's okay. She's okay.
Oh, thank God. Well, and your dad, how is he doing?
He's also good. He's keeping good health right now.
But your dad is he ill of anything or he's not? He's okay.
He's okay. He was ill in the COVID, but now he's okay.
Yeah, he was having this terrible COVID.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But unfortunately, COVID is still with us, my friend. It's
Mm-hmm.
not going to disappear. So that's why please use your mask and
Exactly.
be
Here
careful.
also, it was a COVID outbreak few days back.
My friend, you cannot kiss all the ladies because they may have COVID. You wear your mask. That's more important.
Yeah, sure, sure, sure,
And what you have to say to the ladies, excuse me, I don't have the time.
sure.
I'm very polite. I tell it like a joke, but I'm very afraid of COVID. COVID is terrible.
Nice, nice, nice. Also, I
Well,
wanted to ask you that, for this summer internship thing, that is in the next summer, we have to do an internship. So I was like, I should just ask you about what needs to be done.
what do you say? Sorry, I did not hear you
In the
properly.
next summer, we have to do an internship as a part of the program, and then get a corporate internship, and we'll have to provide the university with the details what we did.
Yeah, well,
So
for that, there is no problem.
sure, 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 sure.
You will have no problem. Even you see in this country, in Chile, the people who are, I'm going to send you some CV, which I
Sure,
mean, a lot better than some Americans. I don't know why. You see, this is, well, there is something good about this country. People who do computing, my dear friend, they are very
sure.
top quality.
Hmm.
And the mathematicians in this country are very, very good.
Hmm.
And some other people are very nice. That's all I can say.
Nice, nice.
This is my English sense of humor. They are really nice, my friend. Everybody very nice.
Nice.
Well, my dear friend, you know, this is your house. You can come at any
Sure,
time.
sure, 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 sure,
And
sure.
Rahat is saying with his wife, well, it's up to him.
Mhm.
They are here, one, two, there are three rooms.
Sure, 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 sure.
And I sleep only in one, actually. So there are places here for, no, this is the house, actually is very convenient. We have here a big living room, a kitchen,
Uh-huh.
and also two toilets. So this is okay. I'm going to send you some picture.
Sure.
And
I have the house pictures with me.
yes, I'm going to send you some other.
Sure.
So, and you will see. Okay,
Thank you so much, sir.
my friend,
Okay.
have a great week for me, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir.
And be very, very careful, my friend. And thank you very much indeed for everything. Huh?
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
God bless you. Bye bye, my friend.
Bye, sir.